Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code DTC P0461 indicates a fuel level sensor, fuel gauge sending unit circuit range performance problem in Honda CRV models from 2017 to 2022. This DTC often arises when there are issues related to the fuel gauge sending unit, which is responsible for measuring the fuel level in your vehicle's tank. This sensor transmits data to the gauge control module, which reflects the fuel level on the dashboard display, typically located in the fuel tank. Any malfunctions here can lead to inaccurate readings informed by the dashboard gauge. Additionally, it's significant to note that this issue can occur when the vehicle has been frequently filled with less than 1.3 US gallons of fuel, or during certain driving conditions, such as cornering or driving on sloping roads. The diagnostic process involves checking various components that may lead to the DTC P0461 being set, ensuring the vehicle operates as intended thereafter. DTC P0461 signifies a malfunction within the fuel level sensor circuit, primarily the fuel gauge sending unit. This sensor plays a critical role by measuring the volume of fuel present in the tank and sending that information to the gauge control module for accurate dashboard representation. Located directly within the fuel tank, this component operates based on the resistance changes that occur as the fuel level varies. When the sensor fails or exhibits a performance issue, incorrect readings are sent to the dashboard, potentially misleading the driver about how much fuel remains. Specifically, the DTC requires examination of both the sensor and its electrical connections. The implications of a faulty gauge can lead to unexpected fuel shortages if not appropriately addressed, making it essential for proper diagnosis and resolution. Several factors can lead to DTC P0461 being triggered. First, repeated refueling with small quantities, specifically less than 1.3 US gallons, 5.0 liters, can impede the sensor's ability to provide accurate readings, as it may not allow the sensor to adjust correctly to the fuel levels. Next, if fuel has been drained during repairs, this can disrupt the sensor's calibration, leading to a performance problem. Additionally, driving on slopes or making constant corners can cause the fuel to shift within the tank, affecting the sensor's readings and possibly leading to inaccuracies. It is critical to consider these driving and refueling behaviors when diagnosing this issue to ensure the correct adjustments can be made for reliable operation. Common symptoms associated with DTC P0461 typically include inaccurate fuel gauge readings, which may inform the driver incorrectly regarding the available fuel. An activated fuel warning light is also a prevalent symptom that could indicate low fuel levels, when in fact, there might be sufficient fuel present. Additionally, users might experience erratic fuel level indications, where the fuel gauge fluctuates unpredictably, leading to confusion on the driver's part. This can significantly affect the driving experience, posing risks if the driver runs out of fuel unexpectedly. Recognizing these symptoms is vital in diagnosing DTC P0461 promptly and effectively to prevent further complications. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0461 involves a detailed customer usage check. Begin by asking the customer about their refueling method. It is essential to determine whether the vehicle has been refueled with amounts less than 1.3 US gallons, 5.0 liters at each instance. If the answer is yes, then the technician should instruct the customer on the proper refueling conditions outlined in the car's owner's manual. This step is pivotal, as it directly correlates to how the fuel level sensor behaves and processes information. If the customer's refueling methods have adhered to the correct guidelines, the troubleshooting can advance to the next step in identifying the root cause of the issue. The second step in troubleshooting involves testing the fuel gauge sending unit for performance. The technician must assess if the sending unit operates correctly within its intended parameters. If the fuel gauge sending unit is deemed functional, the next avenue to explore involves checking for poor connections or loose terminals at both the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. Loose or corroded connections can often lead to erroneous signals being sent, thus triggering DTC P0461. Following established onboard diagnostic protocols will assist in capturing a snapshot of the incident, allowing for conditions to be reproduced that may clarify the issue further. If performance issues are detected with the sending unit itself, replacement of the unit becomes essential for resolving the DTC. Once repairs have been completed, it is vital to undertake final repair verification to ensure that the issue related to DTC P0461 has been adequately resolved. Start this process by checking the functionality of the fuel gauge to confirm that it accurately reflects fuel levels after repairs. This step not only verifies the work performed, but also reassures the driver of accurate readings moving forward. Furthermore, it is advisable to scan for any additional diagnostic trouble codes, DTCs, that may present themselves post-repair. This thorough approach guarantees that the vehicle operates with full reliability and confirms the effectiveness of the troubleshooting efforts. While there are no specific preventive maintenance steps outlined for DTC P0461 in the current data, practical preventive measures can be inferred. Regularly checking fuel levels can help detect discrepancies that may indicate a failing fuel gauge sensor early on, allowing for timely intervention. It is also crucial to refuel appropriately, ensuring each refuel is above the minimum threshold recommended to avoid potential sensor recalibration issues. Additionally, being mindful of driving conditions, especially corners or inclines, can provide insight into the fuel sensor's behavior. Adopting these practices can aid in maintaining the sensor's integrity and mitigate the risk of encountering similar issues in the future. In conclusion, understanding the intricacies associated with DTC P0461 and the role of the fuel gauge sensor is essential for maintaining your Honda CRV's performance. Diagnosing the issue requires both practical troubleshooting steps and an awareness of customer behavior regarding fuel refilling. Recognizing the importance of proper refueling can directly influence the sensor's reliability, reducing the potential for performance problems. After troubleshooting and repairs, verifying the functionality of the fuel gauge and monitoring for additional DTCs ensures continued operational reliability. By adhering to recommended preventive measures, drivers can significantly minimize the likelihood of such DTC occurrences and maintain confidence in their vehicle's function. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.